Hopefully you guys can hear me now. Thank you for letting me know that there was no sound. Can you hear me now? Awesome. All right. Thank you guys. Welcome to your January 2020 forecast. I was just saying that everything is going to be live for the month of January. And just like this, we're going to occasionally have some technical snafus, but I'll roll with it. And I do appreciate your feedback and your support. Loud and crystal clear. Thank you so much. That was Apollo there just a moment ago, waking up from his beauty nap, and I wanted to share his presence with you. Thanks for the confirmation. I know you guys can hear me now. So I really enjoy doing the live format. I hope you do too. Even though things like that happen, what I like about live is that there's a lot more sort of intuitive flow that comes through me. And as a natural channel, that's exciting. And things like this happen. It's real life, right? And this is how we work through it. And that's the whole reason we're meeting today too. So let me talk a little bit about what's coming through. First of all, take a look at my website. I put a link in the chat just a moment ago, but at the very end, I will also put it underneath in the description of the video so you can look at all the upcoming forecasts. I'll be doing Virgo at 11:30 a.m. Pacific, and I believe I'm doing Libra on Monday. So more information on my website, including links to all of those pages where you can set a reminder and know when things are coming through. You can always use what you see here for your sun, your rising, and your moon, so you can cross-watch, or you can just hang out if you want to have fun and support me. There is super chat on this, so if you want to show a different way of kind of giving support, that's a new option that is available kind of exclusively to live readings. If you do a super chat, I will acknowledge it at the very end. I'll say thanks to everybody. While I'm going through this, I want to basically focus on just what's coming through. I'll keep an eye out in case there's something like an audio issue or you want to see something again, but otherwise I'm going to really focus on getting you the information that you need in the time that I have here. We'll have a little bit of time at the end to chit chat too, so please hold any sort of comments, major comments, until the end, and then I'll have time to see those. I'd like to take a moment to welcome back everyone that's a return visitor and viewer. I've been looking at some of your comments, so I know that you appreciate the live stuff. You're enjoying this, so am I. Thank you for coming back and for supporting me. If you're brand new, let me just give you a formal introduction. I don't think I did that, and even if I did at the beginning, the mic wasn't working, so now you can hear me. My name is Nicholas Ashbaugh, and every month I separate the reading into 3 parts. I like to begin with channeled information, and this is when I select a deck of cards, connect with my guides and my intuition, and then after that, I will share with you whatever I'm hearing, feeling, and seeing. Then I move along to a Celtic cross where we really dig deep and look at any of the high points or any of the challenges that are coming through for the month ahead. And then after that, I like to expand the forecast to look at health, wealth, love, and destiny. This month, I'm doing something special because we have live readings. So in addition to everything that I talked about, we'll also be looking at a 2020 overview for the month, or for the year rather, of the year ahead. And this is going to allow us to kind of look at 3-month chunks. And with this, you'll get an idea of some of the big obstacles and opportunities ahead in this very foundational year. I was talking about this in my December readings, that this is a gateway month, right? Both January and February, or I'm sorry, both December and January, but with January in particular, because we're doing this a little bit early, you're going to be able to hopefully hit the ground running and save any time of sort of catching up from the holidays and not knowing what's going on. And that's part of the reason I also wanted to get this out to you now in advance. So we'll be doing that. And then also I'll be adding on a meditation at the end, which will hopefully open up some prosperity, help us get in a nice centered state and enter into the holiday season in a great way as well. Please stick around until the very end because, like I said, I'll have a chance to talk to you. Thank you for the super chats. And I'll give you some information on how to book an appointment. And I actually wrote down some information that I can show to you since I can't put the information up in the video. So we'll get into that later. But we all showed up today to really talk about this upcoming month, January 2020. So let's do that right now. Before I started today, I meditated, and even before that, I was thinking about you during my sleep. I was starting to kind of home into what the message was for you. And one interesting sort of spirit animal image came through, which was a mouse. And I also saw an image of like a radio for me, which also means sort of like being able to broadcast or speak your voice. And what I wrote down in automatic writing was, January is going to provide an opportunity to speak your truth and really use your voice and I think kind of pull people into your energy in a way that they haven't maybe been there before by opening up that throat chakra. And when I say speak your truth, I think a lot of us end up either kind of like not necessarily compromising, but sometimes muting not just our energy, but sometimes our ability to speak up and do what we want to do. So if there's something in your life or in the world around you that you feel really passionate about changing or working on or affecting, this is the month to do it. And it's a chance to also use things like your writing and your public speaking skills to bring people into your way of thinking, because that's part of the reason this kind of interaction is so powerful. This is a vibrational frequency, quite literally. We're using our vocal cords to, kind of communicate. But what you can do is really focus on opening up the throat, connecting it to your all of your chakra systems, and really being able to kind of like, again, convey something that's passionate for you and help people see that. So break down anything where you felt like you had to kind of put on a guise or put on a mask. If there are people around you that are trying to push you back or push you down, this is a month to speak up. And if you want to change the world in a special way, using your voice is a really powerful vehicle to do it. So as we look at the cards this month, we'll keep an eye out for the Suit of Swords and see what comes through as far as communication goes. We'll also look around the environment and see if there's anyone that is either going to enhance or perhaps hamper communications, and hopefully that will help. At this point, let's go ahead and turn the camera down. I'm going to, as I always am, remain quiet at this point, pull out all of the cards, and then afterwards, one by one, we're going to take a look at the month of January. Thanks for being patient as I shuffle. And I was really excited to see the starfish come through as your catalyst, because to me, this has a definite connection with the star card as well, obviously, but it also has the element of water attached to it, which is all about passion. And it's such a beautiful card for me. So the catalyst, first and foremost, for those of you that might just be joining me for the first time live today, this has to do with how you can really embrace the highest energy of the month and how everything's tied together. So there's a visibility with the starfish or with the star card that I always see that you need to kind of embrace. So for some of you, that is that speaking up or standing up opportunity. And as I was shuffling, I thought it's ironic that my voice was shut down at the beginning of this. The whole point of this reading and the whole thing that I said was to speak your truth and use your voice. So I believe that everything, even like a technical snafu, has a purpose here. And for those of you this month, I want you to know that it's really important for you to use that power of speaking, because there is something that's coming through for you next year that's going to help you be noticed, be rewarded, because this even looks to me, it could be like an Ace of Pentacles. It's a beginning, it's an ace to me, the way I'm kind of looking at this starfish. So what I'm really encouraging you to do is to also kind of, we're looking at truth as being a second pillar of the year. So if speaking up, standing up, sort of like being in your light is one of it. The other thing is kind of doing something that's true to you. And I think that would be another key piece. A starfish as well is one of the few creatures I believe that can regrow a limb when it's gone. So it's a time for healing and rebuilding things that have been lost in your life. And if somebody took them away or hurt you, this is a chance for you to basically heal yourself. And, forgiveness is a hard thing, but you can heal yourself by first of all, maybe forgiving yourself and building up your energy, your strength, your skills so that you don't need to really rely on anyone. So there's an independence in the starfish as well that I'm picking up on. So really strong energy associated with the star, also with natural healing, and then with the element of water, which is about passion and joy. I think that's sort of like the key that will unlock that potential, if that makes sense. So let's go ahead and look at each card one by one, moving through the Celtic cross. At the center, we have the Knight of Pentacles, and it's in the reverse state. So the first thing that I see, and this is something that came to me over the past couple of years as I got to know the cards and know particularly the suit of Pentacles, it's not always about an investment of time and energy. It might be for some of you. That's just a warning that the beginning of January could require that you just basically put out a little bit more than you get back. The other thing, though, with Pentacles, and this is what I kind of saw in my own life, is that when it's reversed like this, rather, it's about investing in yourself. And so what does that mean? It means going back to school, reading, taking care of yourself, mind, body, and spirit, finding balance in your life, perhaps where there wasn't. And for many of you, that could mean repair, or somehow kind of going back in and thinking, you know what, for the past decade, I've been doing so much here that I've neglected this area of my life. Maybe it's love, maybe it's education, maybe it's something else that is just really important to you, but that piece has to be healed and kind of made complete. So this is a chance to realize, to complete, and to invest in yourself. And in that respect, that's why the scales would be off a little bit, and it would be showing putting something more in one area than you're going to see a return initially, because that's sometimes how investment works. You have to really work hard, and it takes a while, and then finally you can realize it. It does feel like for many of you, it is about love. Loving yourself, loving others, or using passion in your life to somehow inspire and express something about yourself, inspire other people and express something key to you. I do like that love is right there in the center, though. So do whatever you do with love. I think that's a great way to kind of live your life. I had a great Reiki teacher once that basically said, don't do anything half-hearted. And because at the end of your days, how you work, who you touch, and what you kind of do as a result of that, that's really kind of the legacy that you're leaving. So even if you're not interested in a job that you're participating in, or you're feeling like you're stuck at a point in your life, try to get what you can out of that situation and at least be there for the other people, because they're counting on you. And when you can realize that I can support you and I'm going to try to figure out what's next, but I'm not going to punish you or myself because I'm stuck in this moment. I'm going to try to get the tools and get the insight that I need to get out of this. Again, it could be education, research, maybe even talking to someone. This could be therapy for those of you that might be trying to heal. Whatever it is, you'll work on yourself, you'll improve yourself, and know that you're going to be able to get out of the situation. That sense of hope and purpose, and then also camaraderie for people around you, that's really what's going to set in motion all of the positive energy that you need in the year ahead. There's some decisions you have to make, and I feel like some of you are starting to do it right now. We have karma, which is also judgment, and it's reversed. So with the reversal, some of you may be dealing with a decision that maybe you can't avoid making. It's sort of like you've been painted into a corner, you know you have to move forward, and there's this hesitation, but there's also a realization that it's the best thing. So I would say meditate on it a little bit, try to get comfortable with the trade-off, and then embrace what this is going to bring, all of the opportunities that it's going to bring as well. The card is also saying don't second guess yourself. This is really allowing you to rely more on intuition and also just common sense sometimes. Again, I feel like there's something that has to be done, but there's a reluctance to do it. It's in the deep past, so just allow this pattern to kind of unravel for the next event to happen. And I think you're going to take a nice deep breath once you get through that decision or just accepting the decision. It's also a card that has to do with releasing harsh judgments, whether the judgments were applied to you or whether you applied them to others. So if somebody hurts you, it's so hard to not kind of hold on to that hurt. But this card is showing you that the element of healing yourself, of growing that extra limb back, sometimes involves letting go of something. In letting go, you make space, something new comes in, the starfish kind of energy there. And also with your own life, don't judge someone harshly and kind of keep putting that energy out there, because it becomes almost as if you're a writer and this is a play. And that's really what our lives are. We're creating a live play, just like this live reading. And the energy that we invest in it is going to affect the actors, all the people around us. And we are all stars in our own sort of plays. And so I would just say, start to assume the best of people around you. They'll either prove you right or kind of rise up to that energy, or they'll fail and fall away. And that's their own, they do that on their own, and it's their own sort of karma. That's what this card's all about. Let them decide if they want to go to the high energy or the low energy. It's not up to us to decide. When I'm looking at recent past, we have recovery as well coming through here. Seven of Pentacles for me, whether it's upright or reversed, has to do with taking something and improving it. It can mean that there's a period of growth after financial difficulty. It can mean that health is on the mend and getting better. It can mean that you're starting to see more opportunity, abundance, and love in your life. The reversal of this is also encouraging you to accept and embrace the positive energy of whatever experience happened, and then release the pain associated with it. Because sometimes when we go through something difficult in our lives, we tend not to see what it opened up or what we learned from it. So if you went through something where, again, maybe it was a debt or something, you learn how to manage money better, and then you're prepared for the future when more money and abundance comes your way. So it was a lesson you brought in, you release it, you're better, you move forward. That's sort of a concise sort of, like Cliff's Notes version of it, but you get what I'm saying, which is if you can learn from it, then you actually didn't lose from that situation. You gained a lesson, and you're going to be stronger in the future. When it comes to money overall, we see some sluggishness towards the beginning of the month, but when we look at hope, fears, and opportunity, we have an upright Wheel of Fortune. So that's showing that you're going to be able to move into something better. And it may mean that you step away from something that is not actually supporting you. So all of these cards that we just saw could mean that there could be a job, a relationship, or some other investment of time and energy where you realize, I am not getting back what I've been putting in. And it's not just about this being an unconditional sort of thing. They're actually not supporting me. And so when that happens to you, or if that happens to you, this sort of trilogy or quadrilogy of cards here is saying, it's okay, love yourself, love what you're doing, move forward, and you're going to find that love and support that you're seeking. Getting back to love, and we'll expand that in a moment when we go into the expanded forecast. This is a good time to forge new relationships, or to really start to kind of deepen an existing one. To me, the Four of Wands, which has been coming up quite a bit, by the way, for all of the different signs. I talked about that in December, that 2020 would be like a 4-year. And I mentioned Four of Wands as sort of the card that came through when I thought of it. So this is about really being discerning and picking people that you trust, that have your back, that are really understanding what you're trying to do from not just like a heart level, but an intellectual level. And I would also say like a spiritual level. It needs to be mind, body, and spirit, these relationships. But Four of Wands can show engagement, a contract, business contract between you and someone else. And it's a really good one because we connect that to what's in the opportunity space, and it shows growth and expansion. So if you've not felt what you've wanted before in a relationship, you can develop that. If you're looking for it, you can find it. And if you're single and happy, you've got some great opportunities coming through when it comes to clients and new work, because you're going to be able to use that energy in that part of your life as well. Looking at your near future, we have the Page of Wands in the upright position. This is getting back to what I was saying way back at the beginning with your channeled message, which was to speak your truth and use your voice. Many of you have something really exciting to play, to express with the world here. And what you want to have is a playful approach and think, I can't wait to share this with you. And when that happens, then you can start to sort of think of it. I was thinking the word play because of like a sandbox. If you can start to imagine that January 2020 is a chance for you to kind of play around with new ideas or new visions of who you can be, then you'll start to be able to bring people into that sort of vision of your future as well. And they'll think, I like that, I can see that. But you have to start to kind of like bring that forth. And a page is about both the expression and also the receipt of energy. So for some of you, you might need to listen. There might be an idea around you that you can help develop as well, because that's what this is in the crowning position. It's a partnership card. So this is a great chance for you to express, to listen, to also maybe put some things down, either in writing or have a conversation with someone. Page of Wands is a developmental card, and it can involve all the different elements sometimes because you're really thinking things through. So I want you to allow yourself to basically play around with something new and not be too stuck in one place, one way of being. We have another heavily developmental card here, the Page of Pentacles. I'm sorry, the King of Pentacles in reverse. Because we had the Knight and the King both reversed, this can also indicate a relationship. And for those of you that are in this relationship, what we're seeing is a difference in age or maturity. And with two Pentacles cards reversed, there is sometimes a warning that the two of you may be very much invested in your own lives and kind of separated over the course of January. The challenge for a relationship that you care about and that you want to mend and bring into a sort of better light would be for you to find a way to make sure that that balance exists and that you can try to champion one another a little bit. Because what I'm seeing is a divergence between the two of you. And for some of you, there may be even a desire to take some time apart. So if it's a friendship, it's just showing a gradual drifting. If it's a relationship, the same thing could be happening. But if you're married, that's something that you want to keep an eye on. If you're single, it's showing me that there's a lot of energy going into practical things this month, work and school, and also just taking a look at your money and finances this month. And that's not necessarily a bad thing because it feels like that's where the opportunity lies as well, because this is your opportunity card. So this month, it may just be natural in all major relationships to find that you and or your partner are feeling a little bit more drawn to work on self-development. And as long as that is an ebb and a flow where things kind of equal out. So some months you're closer, some months you're focusing on different things. If this is just a month where there's a little bit of external focus, you don't have to worry. There's no need to like ring the alarm. But if it continues on that sort of path, then that's something that you want to be aware of. But I think that it makes sense this month to focus on the development. And I think sometimes it can even improve a one-on-one relationship with someone because if you've healed yourself, then when you come back together and when you're focusing on being friends or being a couple or being a business partner, you're not bringing baggage to the exchange. And so I think that's part of the message for many of you as well. So as we look at what one of the challenges is for many of you this month, it could also be this feeling of being stuck. So with the Hanged Man in reverse, I would say what you really want to focus on is an ability to, or actually it's in the upright position, is to focus on trying to reverse it, which is there any part of your life where you are feeling unable to push through or unwilling to kind of try something? Okay, I see someone acting up. I'm going to block you. Please behave, people. I'm in the process of trying to find moderators. So I just have to say, please behave. And I might put out an application for that later. It's distracting for me. It's not kind because I'm showing up for you and I really want to be here to sort of deliver this forecast. So thank you so much. And yeah, everyone else block and report it and I'll delete it when we do the live replay. So sorry for that. I am looking for a moderator. All right, thank you. That's one of the things that isn't so great about live, but we'll work through it and I'll eventually have some moderators, but I have to hire them and it takes some time. All right. Back to what I was trying to talk about before all of that. You're welcome. And if it comes up again, let me know. I'll keep an eye on that. I could see it. Please no spamming. Hold comments until the end. Super chats are welcome, but I really need to focus back on this forecast and I want to be here for you. So people in the chat, help me moderate a little bit. And if someone like that does it, just kind of like block and report. All right, Hanged Man. As I was saying, if there's any part of your life where you're feeling that you are blocked, speaking of blocking, you want to work on what we talked about earlier, healing yourself, forging relationships that provide a sense of balance and reciprocity, possibly investing on a part of your life that you haven't allowed yourself or others in your life have blocked and not allowed you as well. The Hanged Man is also an indication that you've gained insight from any of these situations that have held you back a little bit. And with that, once you acknowledge kind of that you have enough power to be able to move forward and get past this, then you start to feel that sense of empowerment again. All right, let's move along to the expanded forecast. And again, apologies that we had someone in chat that was misbehaving. I do ask that everybody just be a good citizen here today. I really want to continue with the live readings. All right, when we look at the health card here, this is mind, body, and spirit. So what I like about the health card is a lot of times we can see something that we can change in the way that we are thinking or the way that we are kind of behaving in our lives that will open up healthier exchanges and also, as a result, health and well-being in our own life. So when I'm looking at this card, it's interesting. It's reversed, but I see this sense of kind of thinking, do I really want to do this? And with this, there's a release of a feeling that I'm resisting or unable to try something. And this person's standing at a gateway. So I think for some of you, this is that decision that it's time to do something, time to move on. So if you can, in your life, think, okay, I've been resisting this change, whether it's a change of fitness routine, a change of the way you've been sort of just kind of dealing with yourself and others, whatever it is that you want to kind of shift, this is a chance to kind of fall into that decision and say, you know what, I care enough about my health, my happiness, and my well-being to go back to school, to eat better, to cut this person out of my life, to really just put in a better foundation. And knowing that by doing that, you're also going to call in better situations around you. So cutting the cords, removing those things, ultimately getting rid of that block in your life, it's going to be really key. We have the Sun card here when we're looking at your wealth, and that was attached to this decision. So you're going to make a healthy decision that brings in something that really is going to allow you to kind of be malleable in your own life. I was talking about this in another sign. I like that we see the Sun card, which is like the ultimate power symbol, I think, in your wealth area. So it's your energy that is going to pull in lightness and brightness and opportunity. It's like the sun in our solar system. So think of everybody around you as the planets, and you're going to try to pull them in. It was what I was talking about to another sign. I think there's a step further with this, though. For some of you, there's a divine partnership that's coming through. The starfish, aka the star and the sun. When I see this, I see divine feminine, divine masculine energy that's coming through for many of you. And so there's a chance this month to find someone that can help you in the areas of being healthier and also more successful. And being very discerning is what's important here. That Four of Wands is, again, someone who has your back. So with that, make sure that you really get to know the person, really get to take some time. And the Hangman can also be just a matter of some of you slowing down before you make that decision. And again, do I trust you? Do I know you? Do you know me? Are we on the same page? I want to take one last moment and see if there's anything else for health. We were just looking at wealth, but I want to look at health quickly here. Whenever I see the Seven of Pentacles in reverse, it has to do with, for me, a lack of balanced nutrition, sometimes coming from, this is like for me, it can indicate vegetables or nutrients in your life. So for some of you, there might be too much protein or not enough, or too much vegetables and not enough. So you really want to just look at balancing things out. If you've been eating a lot of fast food, or if you've just been really busy, this is a month to really focus on nutrition. Talk to a doctor, obviously, for that. And that was one thing that I wanted to highlight before I moved on. All right, we just looked at health and wealth. Now let's take a look at love. So you are not alone is the message on this card. And it's as much a self-fulfilling prophecy as it is an affirmation. So if we exist in the sort of energy of feeling like, I can't do this, I'm alone, we start to kind of like shut down our chakras. The wheels start to slow down and stop spinning. And you can't allow that. That's the reason why in this particular card, we actually see the wheel here coming through, Wheel of Fortune, Wheel of the Year. When things start to move, everything around them, everything around you starts to kind of move in as well. So if you can open up your heart this month, and I would say even for those of you watching in December, the next 2 months, and start to feel like, I'm ready to meet people. I am not alone, and I want to call in the highest partnerships available. You always want to not just kind of be looking for love or partnership in any form. Really say the highest possible partnership. Be discerning. Think about what it is you're trying to call into being, and then say this or higher, this or better. It's a great way to manifest. Always add the or, better than I can imagine, or better than I could ever dream. And I think the key thing for you is to start to kind of think about your own self-worth. In the previous sign, I talked about this building of self-confidence by saying, like, I am more than enough. You really need to start to feel like you have this sense of self-appreciation, self-worth, and self-love, because if you love who you are, other people will see that sense of contentment and appreciation and divinity, and they're going to be attracted to that. If not, what happens is you pull people in that are kind of like trying to show you where the cracks are. So if you don't love yourself or you're feeling alone and you keep focusing on the aloneness, then what happens is people come in that make you feel more isolated. They say things that hurt you or they do things that hurt you. So really focus on the feeling that you are enough for yourself, you're more than enough for others, and that you're willing to wait until the highest partnership comes through, the divine partnership that we see here. And if you're already in that divine partnership, you're going to really start to be patient with yourself and others, because it's going to take time sometimes to realize what's going on. Because if you're in a divine partnership, the good, the bad, and the ugly come out. So there's a little bit of a chance for mutual healing and patience this month as well. If you're already in that twin flame or divine partnership, you're supposed to be there for each other. And then we have this feline energy coming in your destiny card. And for you, this is about, of course, intuition, because I think of any sort of feline energy being kind of already in the third eye, very, very intuitive. But I would also say it's about removing masks in your life, no sneakiness, and really making sure that anybody around you that needs to be held accountable for things is held accountable. And this is a chance for you to, for some of you, step away from those situations, those people, those thoughts that are limiting, that are not allowing you to move forward. So let's go ahead now and review everything, especially since we had a slight interruption. I want to make sure you get your message, and then we'll get to the fun stuff. We'll take a look at 2020 and we'll do a healing meditation. So I'm going to pull the camera down and we'll talk about what we've just discussed. This is great also if you just joined me late. By the way, everything you see here is going to be available for replay, so don't worry about it. All right, so my message when I began, and this was a channeled message, was to speak your truth. And ironically, at the beginning, my mic wasn't working, and I said, use your voice. And I think that that was also a way of underlining how important and how vital it is. When you're not talking, you're really not allowing people to truly see who you are. So if you're in an office or a family or any part of your life where you feel like there's these loud people around you, I think it's important for you to find a place at that table to lean in, to speak, to make your presence known. It's not how much you say, it's really that you're going to say something with passion too. So pick and choose your moments, but definitely use your voice. We had the starfish as your catalyst, a beautiful card of healing. As I said earlier, you can grow something back if it disappears. Same thing in your life. If money's disappeared, if a relationship's disappeared, if you're just not feeling whole, this is the month to invest in yourself. You and your partner may be doing that because we got those, the King and the Knight of Pentacles in reverse. The water all around the starfish is about finding a nice calm place with your emotions, because as we look at the cards here, I got the Eight of Cups here in the environment. I didn't hit on that too much when we were doing the reading, but I'm going to talk about that in a moment. This for many of you is the sort of time apart, but it can also be going back or finding something that you lost in your life. It can be the connection with an old friend or a lost love as well. So this is a month of second chances and returns. Again, a lot of that energy of the starfish coming through. I mentioned personal investment with the Knight of Pentacles. We also see healing when it comes to financial situations or self-worth this month. The Knight and the Seven of Pentacles are in reverse, but the Wheel of Fortune's upright. So as I'm looking straight across the center, I'm seeing that things are going to improve. There are a couple points, though, where you're feeling or you're questioning, like, is this worth it? For some of you, you're going to step away. There's an open door if you decide to step away from a work situation or a relationship. You get time to decide, is this for me? Is this right? Four of Wands in that crowning position, showing that it's going to be a month of strengthening existing relationships, possibly meeting a divine partner or a really great business partner. And I said earlier, be discerning, be picky, hold out for your star, for your sun, to make sure that you can really pull in that high energy. Expression of ideas, listening to others, developing, playing around in a sandbox, that's going to be really important. And when I say the sandbox, it's just basically your imagination, allowing yourself to dream. King of Pentacles in reverse, pairing up with the Knight. Again, there might be a sort of a maturity difference between you and your partner. One or both of you might be developing your own energy this month, your own sort of endeavors. The main thing is to understand relationships ebb and flow. Just make sure that this isn't indicative of a larger trend in that relationship, and I think you'll be okay. Travel may be coming through for some of you over the course of January. With this travel, the cool thing with the Eight of Cups is it's very much a journeyman card. It's kind of like going out and discovering who you are. And sometimes we need to do that. That's why that was reversed. And getting away from all of this, it might be important so that you can just get a sense of your own desires, your own hopes, your own energy. I see a big shift coming through for finance and work. Some of you could have a new job this year, or might be creating a company or joining with a team, a smaller team, but someone that you really care about and something that you really care about, more importantly. The Hanged Man showing that some pauses are okay, particularly if you're trying to be discerning and pick the right person to partner up with. Some pauses are unavoidable because you have to just wait for a decision. Others are within your control. And for some of those, it's simply making or embracing a decision that's already started to unfold, but for some reason there's resistance, either because it wasn't completely of your making or your liking, but knowing that it's kind of already started. So the best thing now is to decide, what can I do with the opportunities in front of me? I see key partnerships. I see more money and more resources. I see a great idea. I see potentially traveling and sharing that idea. So that's what you can do to shape it and to break the energy of the Hanged Man so you're not stuck. When we looked at your health message, it was, again, kind of not being stuck. It's a common message for you. And to kind of let go of a feeling of, I don't want to do this. There's a little bit of like Henri energy here, but there's so much strong solar energy coming through, and we have the sun above it. So if you can get into the idea that this is going to be fun, I'll work through it. The same way I had to work through a couple of hiccups today with like the mic and then someone acting up. You just have to move on. Life throws you curveballs. It's how you react to it that is important. When we look at love this month, you're not going to be alone. We see new friendships, new partnerships coming in. But the feeling of aloneness or the feeling of being sort of cut off can be a deterrent. So make sure that you're not creating a self-perpetuating or a self-fulfilling prophecy. I want you to feel that you're going to call in the highest possible partnerships. That's what's most important. And for those of us that work on ourselves, spiritual people, it really gets frustrating sometimes because you are discerning, you are picky. So sometimes it takes a while for that high partnership to come through, right? And then we saw the feline energy here. That's a highly intuitive sign for me, but it can be a tricky sign as well. So this is why I want you to wait for the right thing, the right opportunity, the right person to come through in your life. Hopefully that helped summarize everything, especially since we had a couple of interruptions. I feel really good about the energy so far of January for you. There is a great partnership and a great job sort of opening that seems like it's happening for many of you. And the big thing, the big challenge, the only thing that can kind of pull you back is this feeling of impatience, or is this going to work? When is this going to happen? Am I going to be alone forever? Why am I waiting so long? So pull those sort of self-perpetuating, and I would also say sometimes even like blocking thoughts out and think, I am pulling in the best partnership. Things will happen faster than I imagined. That can be your mantra, actually, to reverse it. Universe, surprise me. Make something happen faster than I thought it could, or bring me something even better than I imagined while I'm waiting, so that person, place, or thing might come back to me, and kind of then you can kind of use the two as a bargaining sort of chip. So there's a lot of things that you can do to manifest, and I would encourage you to do that. Let's go ahead now and take a look at 2020 as a whole. We're going to look at 4 cards, starting off first with January, February, and March. So let's see. Actually, I had one that just popped out I'm going to observe that one because it popped out of the spread. So we have the 9 of Swords, which was everything that I was just hitting on, which is fear. It's never as bad as it seems, the 9 of Swords, by the way. It's usually someone that feels kind of pushed down by anxiety. The ways that you can help create balance within the 9 of Swords is by rest, by switching the narrative in your head, as we just talked about. I can do this. It's going to be okay. I'll talk to someone. I'll get some advice. I'll get a good partner to help me out, a lawyer, a friend, an advisor. And guess what? I have something that I care about, others will care about. And as long as I'm working with integrity, with passion, and with experience, this is just fear. It's just butterflies. We all get nervous before we do something we care about, whether it's a date or a job interview, or for me, if I'm going live, whatever it is. Those butterflies are good because it engages our energy. It attaches us to our higher self. We start to kind of pay attention. And this, to me, is what I'm seeing with this Destiny card too, which is don't deny your ability to tune in to your extrasensory information and also your instincts. They're going to guide you in the right path. So let's go ahead now and look at April, May, and June, and we'll see what that has in store. quarter number 2 for 2020. Change. This is basically the end of whatever this stagnation was that we saw with karma reversed, aka judgment reversed, and the hanged man reverse. There is something that needs to step out of your life. If I ever created a deck of cards, I would change that to transformation. I like death though, because it really grabs your attention, but transformation is just as eye-catching. And to me, I see death as sort of like a supernova, right? So something was destroyed, but in the destruction of it, other things are created. So as we look at that 3-month period of April, May, and June, that's your supernova. You're going to take what you've learned and recreate, reinvent. This is your expansion moment. This is your star moment. This is when you heal and create from the ashes. It's kind of like Phoenix energy. So it can be difficult though, right? Because a lot of times we're comfortable. Death reversed means stagnation. It doesn't mean that bad things are going to happen. It means break the stagnation. So whatever isn't working, this is the period to do it. So first quarter, you're releasing the fears. Second quarter, you have the faith, the sort of strength as well to then unshackle yourself and move forward. All right, let's look at card 3, which is July, August, and September. Finally, something awesome here. This is that divine partnership that we're seeing, and it's worth the wait. We have the 6 of Cups. For me, this can be a soulmate. This can be that reconnection with a long lost friend or the partner or the opportunity that you've been calling in, because this is a waiting card as well. So now you're starting to get a return on the investment of energy and all the change that you've been doing. It's also a chance to have fun. And guess what? You've earned it. Look at those first 2 quarters. You've been through it. You're ready for it. This is a chance to really engage with some great opportunities ahead. And so I'm excited for you. And I think that this is going to be when you start to really feel your potential as the year kind of progresses. So let's take a look now at October, November, and December and see how 2020 is going to wrap up for you. Strength card, empowerment. I've been seeing an interesting trend with the 2020 cards that I've been pulling. A lot of times I get Emperor and Empress. Sometimes I get the Strength card. And what I'm seeing is ultimately everything that happens for each sign has to do with a feeling of ownership, empowerment, independence. And in this case, if you notice, Strength is not kind of opening the mouth of the beast here. They're sitting equally. There's equal partnership. This isn't about domination. This is about divine feminine power, which is about creation, strength, and inspiring others. This is the star energy, divine feminine. So you're going to be opening up next year. And I've been seeing a lot of signs ending on a divine feminine card, like the Empress, for instance. So I feel like whatever you needed to create, there's a feeling that it's either starting to happen or it has happened, but it takes 2 or 3 quarters of the year to get to that point. But wow, isn't it worth it? Because we go from, it's a beautiful sort of journey that you're taking, from the fear and the uncertainty, the butterflies in your stomach, to the necessary change, to the supernova moment, to finally pulling in people that now see you for who you are and who you're becoming. And then this ultimate feeling of, I've got this. Why was I worried anyway? It's kind of like probably what happens a lot of times when we all get into life review after this life is finished, where we're thinking it wasn't as hard as I thought. Why did I make it so hard? So that's one thing that I would try to impart on all of you this month, is to really focus on feeling like you've got this, you can handle it. Anything that's happening, you've got this. And absolutely, that's you, by the way. So you're fine, you've got this. What a great card to end with. I'm excited for you. Yes, there's changes, but you can handle it. I feel like in our meditation, which we're going to do next, we can really focus on opening up to that idea of expansion, that supernova moment, and then that feeling of being able to be in your power to start to create. So let's meditate together. If you can get comfortably seated and relax a little bit with me, great. If you're busy in your day, if you're working or walking around, listen to this on the replay. It'll be just as good and you can still benefit from it then, okay? So close your eyes for a moment, relax your neck, your shoulder, your back, and I want you to find a comfortable space. I want this to kind of be cosmic because we're dealing with that energy of death reversed. So first I need to ground you, and then we'll kind of take you out of your body for a second. So see yourself in maybe like a beach setting or somewhere near the earth that you like. It can also be a forest. But I just want you to feel soft sand or soft earth beneath you. And it would be great to also have the element of water as well, because it allows for movement. So whether it's the ocean or a small stream or a river, I don't care. Listen to that sound of the water moving in the background. Take a nice deep breath and feel like you could almost pull the energy of the water through you and allow for anything that you don't want to keep in your energy from 2019 to be released, and then allow for whatever the energy that wants to kind of come through for the new year to basically to kind of flow through you. So you're bringing in opportunity and abundance in all forms with this breath. Nice deep inhale. Hold it, really allow for the new to come in, release the old, send it to the edge of the horizon, allow the water to take it away, back to source. Allow your body now to sink into the earth beneath you. Feel the support of Mother Earth. Open your heart, connect with the center of the planet, say a prayer of gratitude. Thanks to the earth for supporting you, for giving you a place to live, to walk, to breathe, for giving you the food that you need as well, for always being there, even when we don't appreciate the earth. It's in a place of crisis right now. So send it love and light. And as you kind of hug it with your own energy and the collective energy of this meditation, feel this warmth and light as the center of the earth, the heart of the planet, comes right back and provides a electromagnetic shield for you, which is going to be important, because now I want you to kind of allow for your body, your physical body, to stay in the ground, on the ground, and then start to let your heart pull you towards the sun above you. See the beautiful, bright orange light and feel this sense of almost like you're a tree or a flower or a plant. You're drawn towards that light. You feel that your energy is getting lighter, brighter, and stronger as you move upwards. You still feel a connection to the earth body, but you're no longer sort of encumbered by the limits of your mind or your body. You now can see things from a cosmic perspective, not just, you can look down at the planet and see the planet, but you can see beyond the planet, see the other solar systems, the other stars, the galaxy and its arms that it's reaching out. And then also beyond that, the universe, really feeling this sense of limitlessness, of ability to kind of connect with beyond the beyond. So you are no longer encumbered by what your parents said, what you think, what your friends think, what your boss thinks. You are an eternal being. You are ageless, limitless, and you have this ability now to bring that energy of creation into your body. And what I want you to do now is to really soak up all you can from the solar energy, from the cosmic energy, from this, all the stars out there. We were basically constituted by a star. A destruction of a star. Everything on this planet is from a supernova. So you have the energy of the star within you. Now I want you to kind of funnel everything that you've gained and learned from being out of body and allow that to come back into your heart space, almost like a feather. You're gently coming back into your body. And once you've started to assimilate all of that love, all of that knowledge, it's time for your heart to expand. And I want you to feel like this is going to be a wonderful kind of explosion of joy, of realization of what you can do, and feel this gentle but nonetheless important supernova happening within your heart. Allow the heart energy to expand now, to push through all 7 chakras and the other chakras that we don't even talk about because there are more than 7, but the 7 major chakras. And imagine now that your body is kind of feeling like it is kind of plugged into a new outlet, almost as if you could take a cord and plug into the sun or plug into your higher self. Every single cell, every single memory, every single piece of your mind, body, and spirit is now in that higher space of limitlessness, of a possibility. And just take a nice deep breath and own your divinity. Good. I want you, perhaps with your hands in the meditation, to just draw a circle around you, creating a container for this new energy that you have created in the sand or in the dirt. And I want you to just allow for everything that you've created now to be a part of 2020 for you. You are no longer constrained. You are expansive. You are the sun. You are the star. And you are able to do great things in your life. Yeah? All right, you can open your eyes. That felt good. I hope that it helped you guys as well. All right, let's review a little bit. First of all, I'd like to take a moment to thank everybody who was patient today, especially since we had someone that acted up a little bit. We have to show grace and gratitude, even if other people don't. That person needed some love, so that is what it is. I'd like to say thank you to Socialista for your super chat. I'd also like to thank Special K, thank you, James, and looks like Kellen Starseed. And let's see if there's anyone else. That's all I'm seeing right now. Oh yes, also thank you, Steve. Steve, I appreciate you. You've been showing up at a few of these, so welcome back. And Sarah, thank you so much as well. All right, for everybody that did give back, know that that's a great way. It helps me continue to buy cards, to set up the time, to upgrade my equipment. All of that stuff is necessary, so much, much appreciated. If you would like to connect with me, I'm going to go low tech here, but I think you'll like it. Some of you said, what is your website? Well, here's my website. You can join me at nicholasashbaugh.com. And on that, I have the upcoming schedule for everything that's coming through. Thank you, Enzo. So future live readings. And when I do the February schedule, I'll post it there as well. You already know my YouTube handle, I'm assuming. It's the same for Patreon and Facebook. So it's just my name, Nicholas Ashbaugh. So feel free to join me there. If you prefer not to do Patreon and you want to do PayPal, you can also do paypal.me, and it's just my name. I think you see a trend here. It's usually my name whenever I can allow it to be. For Twitter, it's just first initial, last name. Twitter is a great place because I will tweet out reminders when I'm going live. Same thing on Instagram. I use stories quite a bit. So please join me there. Actually, if I can get a few additional followers, I can start to put links in those as well. So if you haven't joined me on Instagram, now's a great time. So I hope you enjoyed the low tech version. I can't really put everything up here at the bottom like I used to. This has really been amazing for me to be able to connect with you guys because for the most part, it's been great. And I really like to kind of, I think, be able to just communicate with you in a way that isn't maybe so polished, but is a lot more real and allows for raw intuition to come through. It approximates a lot of what it would be like to have a one-on-one with me. So hopefully you enjoy that energy as well. And I want to also say thank you for coming through and working on yourselves. Thank you, Donna. Because what I'm really trying to do each and every month is to open up that light within you to help you see the possibilities. Thanks, Julie. And I believe that each and every one of us have the ability to become a light worker, to inspire people around us and to change our life. It's all about free will, right? So thank you so much for your love, for your support, for showing up, for letting me know when we had a technical problem, and for being patient when someone was creating some havoc. I am looking for moderators. I'm probably going to put a separate YouTube post about that, and I'll make an application on my website because I really want to make sure that whoever I bring in here is a good community sort of citizen. But if you're interested in that, when I put the video up, there'll be a link and you can apply, and I'll think about it because I would love to have some help. I want to focus on giving you the information while I'm doing this rather than moderating some comments here. So I will definitely put something up in the next few days about that. In the meantime, sending you much love and light. I will be back at 11:30 a.m. Pacific time. It's basically about an hour and a half from now. So feel free to join me if you want to come here for the Virgo reading. That'll be, again, you can watch it for sun, rising, and moon. So if that's somewhere else in your chart, or you just want to hang out, feel free to join it because I'll be doing another meditation during that period as well. Thanks so much, everybody. Have a great day, and I'll see you soon, later today, actually. Take care. Bye-bye.